Hello friends, good morning, good afternoon. In this session, we are going to see how to place Windows application at a global level. Means, let's say we have seen earlier many website means like let's say school information management system or hospital information management system. They hosted right, and we can open that management software or application in the browser, and from the browser we can able to log in. But in our scenario or in our case, there is a different situation. Means we have a Windows application, right? And we have to make it as a global level. So how to do that? First of all, right now this application is connected to the local database. Means here uh, it is the local SQL server, and in that there is a Swaraj HIMS demo is the database. On this database means application is connected. And one more thing, I have to show you where is that application connection string I saved, and you will get some means how to connect it from local to the cloud or Azure cloud. Okay, so first thing first, we will go through the some scenarios, and then we will get the some idea about it. Yeah, Windows application project is our Windows application project made it as a global. It is our objective, right? And so for that, what we have to do, then there is a HIMS application, right? It is connected to the local database, and it is having right now exe means application. It's nothing but the exe, right? And it is the Windows application, and our target is we have to make it as a global. So how to make it as a global? So answer is that we have to host our database on a Azure SQL database, right? Means it is a globally means whatever the exe we given to the our clients, so that we have to set the connection string so it can point to the Azure SQL. We will see once diagram first. Means let's say here is the HIMS application. Right now it is my in my computer, right? And there is a SQL server is also hosted in my laptop, right? Or in another scenario, means there is an different situation, like let's say we have a one organization, and in that organization there is a SQL server, and with the help of LAN, the app means HIMS application can be accessed by multiple computers. Means let's say here is one organization, and in one organization there is a one server, and here are multiple clients, right? Means there is a computers, and they can on these computers HIMS application is installed, and on this is the SQL server, right? So this uh, server can be accessed by this HIMS application, right? So this is one organization, or and this setup is for one to one, means there is a one application is installed on my computer, right? But what we have to achieve? We have to achieve like means let's say this is the HIMS application and I have to connect it to the Azure cloud. So how to do that, and what changes we have to do, right? So yes, we will see below changes in the this video. Means a database on a local server, we have to move it on a Azure. So what we have to do? First of all, we required DMA, data migration assistant, or a data migration service from the Azure. So obviously we required the Azure subscription, right? So I will give you a demo on a Miss Azure subscription. Means there is a in a subscription there is a resource group, and in resource group there is a SQL server we have to create, and then SQL database we have to create. After that, we have to launch the data migration assistant tool. With the help of that, we can move our local database to the Azure cloud database, right? And then after that, yeah, means database point of view, we are good. But there is a reporting server as well. And we have to change the connection string of the reporting server. Means right now reporting server is connected to the our local SQL server, local SQL server. So instead of that, we have to point to the Azure SQL Database. So that means our reports is also came from Azure SQL Database, right? And from generic point of view means we have to just give this application or exe to the client and we can manage database or on a, which is on a Azure cloud, and we can manage the reports means which is hosted on the report server. Okay, so let's start. So first thing first, we will go to the connection string. Means let's say this is project starting from the login form, right? Means from the MDI will login first, and then after the MDI launch, then we are going towards the login form. And in login form, there is a we are validating the username and password. And yeah, the connection is means database or we are connecting to the database with the help of connection.txt, right? And we can configure this in a different way, but right now I kept it in a notepad file, right? So where is that bin folder? And so this is the bin and there is a connection. So in connection there is a data source is equal to mycomp, initial catalog is the Swaraj in HIMS demo, username and password, right? So I'm here means in my computer uh, is the server, and then Swaraj HIMS demo, right? And we can able to connect to this database. So I am starting the project, right? And one more, I'm giving the username and password. So this screen will appear, okay? And after this screen, so what I have to show, I am inserting the one record inside the means application so that you can see, yeah, it is reflected in the local database, right? So bill number I'm going to create. So MR number is 28. Yes, yesterday we seen. Okay, we have to mark the visit for that patient. Yes, obviously, because today he came, right? And add it. Yes, close it. And then just add this first of all, yeah, search the patient, and then consultation fee as a 100 rupees fine. And then after that there is IV infusion 300. Okay, and I am adding a one more service as a ECG 200. Okay, so total will be a 600. Save it. So you will get the bill print as well, right? So so yeah, we got the print at here. Means let's say, yeah, there is a 11 and 600 rupees, right? And after that I have to show in a database side new query, select a star from bill. If you see there is a timestamp for that, yeah, 1/1/2014, and then after that there is a added by, right? And right, 2 p.m. And one more thing, in bill settlement table also we got the reflection. Means there is a visit ID 10056 and there is a bill ID, it's 11 and 600 rupees we received, right? So means we can assure that, yeah, there is a we got the entries in this database. Right now our target is we have to move it on a Azure, right? So I'm going to Azure first, right? Today I created for the demo. And first of all, there is a resource group. Miss, I started the free subscription, and how to start it, subscription or create the account on Azure. I will create a separate video for it. And first of all, in this session, I am going to explore you about the how to create the SQL Server, SQL database, and then data migration assistant tool. So let's say, first of all, I'm yeah, before 5 minutes I created a resource group at here. means there is a Swaraj RG, right? And in that we have to create the SQL server. So I'm going to create a SQL database. So click on it, right? Free trial subscription, and then yes, there is a Swaraj RG is the resource group, and yes, before the hierarchy is like this, means most of the persons they already know subscription, then there is a resource group, right? And then after that resource group, in this resource group there is a resources like your Azure Data Factory, SQL Server database, SQL Server or a web API, all these things are come under the resources. So I am going to create the resource means as a SQL database, means it is the as a one resource, right? And I'm giving the database name as a HIMS, right? And we didn't created the server, so we have to create that, right? So I am giving a name as a Azure SQL Azure HIMS apps SQL Server. Okay. And .database .windows .net is the default one suffix. And then there is a in which region or location you have to create. So I'm going to select as a Central India, right? And we have a AD authentication or means there is a SQL Server authentication. So I'm going to use the SQL authentication, right? And here I'm using the username as a SQL admin and inserting the password, right? And then click on OK. So server will create as well as database as well. So in that we have to create first of all elastic pool or we want elastic pool or not. So I am selecting the no. First of all I am going to use the yeah standard one, and 2 GB is fine for me. So yes, yes 0, and local redundant backup storage. Before 2 or 3 days I posted the one post on the LinkedIn. There is a redundant backup storage means yeah, LRS, then ZRS, Geo ZRS. So you can see that. So I'm going to review and create. Yes, create it. So it will take some time, means there is a validating and submitting the deployment. And yeah, deployment is in a progress. First of all it will create the SQL server first, Azure HIMS apps SQL server, and then in that it will create the SQL database. Okay, so you will get complete information at this page, means how deployment is going on or in progress. Here you will see the progress, means deployment is in a progress, and yeah, operation details means when it ran and yeah, accepted. So who is the resource, right? And meanwhile what we have to do, I'm going on a home screen or duplicate it, and I have to give us some background about the data migration service. So yeah, click on a home and then Azure migration, right? Azure migrate. So we have to click on this, and in that there is a get started. First of all, yeah, databases only. So create project first, means create project, and then in same there is a Swaraj RG, and I am going to give a project as a migration DB new. So this is the new project, and in which geography. So I am making it as a in India. Okay, and public endpoints no problem, and then create it. Till the time our SQL server will be ready. Yeah, it is not yet ready. And after that, one more thing, there is a when we go at Azure, uh, sorry, I am duplicating it. Yes, yeah, it came. So deployment is done for the uh, database migration assistant. Means yeah, here we can download the DMA. So yes, click on here. Means download data migration assessment tool from here. So click on it and yeah, setup will download. So I downloaded it before 1 hour. So yeah, that is the setup in downloads. You can click on that particular setup and I am opening the data migration assistant tool. So 1 minute, it is on the another screen. Sorry, yeah. So yes, data migration assistant will open. First of all, yeah, you have to download it, you have to install it, and then it will open, right? And yes, here, yeah, it is not ready yet. Okay. Till the time we will go from here. So two things means for data migration assistant and uh, data migration assistant tool means one is the assessment and one is the migration. Assessment, it means first of all we have to validate, yeah, means my database is compatible to go on Azure or not. Then we have some blockers, or we can say obstacles, we have to go through it, or we have to resolve it first. Means that is nothing but the assessment. And then next thing is the migration, means we have to do the actual migration, means like a schema or a schema or data, like so such a like that. And so first of all, yes, it is not ready yet. Okay, still we can able to connect to the local server and we can check the eligibility. My database is eligible for the migration or not. So I'm going to give the project name and so project name should like as a here there is a migration DB new. Okay, here copy something. Migration DB new. Okay. And yes, I'm going to host the database engine. Means there is a SQL database, right? So it come under the database engine, not the SSIS. So if we have to migrate the SSIS package, then you have to select the integration service. And yes, here there is a SQL server. So source type, and yeah, target type we have to switch it on a Azure SQL database. So create it, and first of all I am going to create the assessment, right? And check the database compatibility, check the feature parity, all these things, and click on a next. So select the source. So what is the server name? So my comp is the my local server, and SQL server authentication, with the help of that I have to connect and just insert the password or put the password, then connect it. Number of databases are available at here, so which database we have to migrate? Swaraj HIMS demo, right? Then click on next. So yeah, whatever the size mentioned at here, start the assessment. So assessment is in a progress. So it will give you, means there are some SQL Server agent related things, means it's any dependency, because yesterday I set up the replication for the another database, or means for that database is any replication dependency, or there is a CDC or other jobs are available. So that will give you the impacted objects. And there is a means we can ignore that as well. Means there is a suppose real dependency, then you can't, you have to uh, uh, resolve that obstacles, or resolve that impacted object first. And then here there is a compatibility issue. So there are no any compatibility issue with your database, right? So these are the some different versions, means compatibility 160, 50 right now. Miss compatibility I have to show you where you have to see. Then just right click over here, properties, miss version. here there is a, so this is nothing but the compatibility level, means in which version you created the database SQL Server 2008, 12, 14. So that is nothing but the compatibility level. Okay, and SQL Server and database is in creation mode. And yeah, I renamed it to the Azure HMS app 1 because it took more time for the previous server, so I removed it one, and yeah, creating the new one. And one more thing, yes, we are on a data migration assistant tool. So yeah, here we are not getting anything. Means there is a no any obstacles, right? And if we have any obstacles, then first of all, please resolve it. Means while there is a stored procedure or is any object is missing or there is a dependency. Okay. So right now I am going to create a project like there is a migration, right? So first of all, here you can go from here as well, connect to Azure and then upload to Azure as well. So here we have to give the there is a connection string, sorry, subscription, and then there is a migration DB, correct? So migration DB new is the project which is come at here, right? Or another way as well, means um, we seen there is a assessment, right? And after that there is a migration. So with the help of migration also we can come here, right? So yeah, miss, right now assessment is done. So I'm going to here, there is a assessment is done, and I'm going to migrate, right? So first of all, project name migration DB new, right? And yes, there is a SQL Server, Azure SQL DB, and there is a schema and data, right? And then create. Okay. So here we have to give the source, target, then select the object and script, and then actually we can migrate the schema as well as data. So before of that, we are checking, yes, the deployment is completed, means new SQL Server is created. Okay. So how to browse that? There is a Swaraj RG is the resource group, and in that there is a server name. Here is the SQL Server. So go to that, and then how to access it from the local. First of all, go to the networking tab and add our local IP address so that you can access it. So add your client IP address and then just save it so that from your local machine you can access. Okay, and yeah, copy the server name, yes, and then go to here, connect, and then copy name, and then whatever the credential you passed while creating, so you have to supply at here, right? And username and password, right? Connect it, so you can able to connect it from the local SSMS to the Azure Cloud Database. And right now HS database is here, and if we are going to explore it, new, select a star from sys.table, so you will get nothing, right? Because we didn't migrated anything, right? So yeah, go to the data migration assistant tool. Here there is a, I'm choosing the local server as a mycom, right? Or you have to put it. So SA and then put the password, connect it, right? Swaraj HIMS demo is the my server name, sorry, database name, and then go to the next server name. Yeah, Azure. Here there is a connect to the target server, right? So target server is our, this means we have to copy the connection string, sorry, copy the server name, not the connection string. My bad. Sorry, data mesh. migration assistant tool, and here we have to give the SQL Server authentication. Here you have an option like Azure Active Directory or Azure Directory Integrated Authentication as well. So, but we created as a SQL authentication, and SQL admin and username and password we have to pass. Click on a trust server certificate, then connect. Yes, there is a one database we created on it, HIMS, right? And click on the next. So here you have a permission, means you can select the objects that you have to migrate, right? So I am selecting all the stored procedures, all the tables, correct? Means here there is a stored procedure, not multiple stored procedures are available, and then click on the generate SQL script. So you will get the complete list of object list at here. At the end, I will show you another example. Means this is the data migration assistant tool, but if we know, yeah, my database is a fine and there is a complete compatibility, there is a no any problem. So with the help of SSMS, we can just right click on it, task, and then deploy database to the Microsoft Azure SQL database. That is also one option. Okay, and yeah, the script is created and you have to save it, then you can save. Then I'm going to deploy. So deployment is started. Yeah, deployment results. Here you can see multiple scripts are applying on the HIMS database, which is on the Azure. And from database perspective, you can see the size. Yeah, this is the SQL Server, right? And in SQL Server, there is a database, and in database, you can see which is the tier, and you can monitor the database. Here, there is a 22 MB right now. So, if you refresh it after, means you will get the means how much percentage utilization and all these things. And we set it as a max storage as a 1 gigs. Okay, and where it is located, then who is the resource group, who is the server name, elastic pool is applied or not. So you will get complete information about the database at here. So we will switch to the data migration assistant. Okay, so if anything or there is a problem, then you can redeploy it. Otherwise, I am going to migrate the data. So here we have an option, means which tables you have to migrate. So click on that, and then right now I'm going to show you. Yeah, here there is a bill table. There is a 11 rows. Just keep in mind. So uh, yes, 11 rows in a bill table. Okay, start data migration. So what it does, actually it is copying the data from our local to the Azure, means insert script, BCP. If a database is a small, then yeah, it's a good choice. Means it is a very handy. And then yeah, migrate data is completed. So nothing is pending at here. And at the end, you can delete the migration, or you have to keep as it is. You can keep at it as it is. Okay. So yes, we are at here, and there is a Swaraj group, and in that there is a HIMS database, right? And go in a monitoring, so you can see there is a monitoring utilization is came at here, right? And what we have to do right now, we have to connect this server from the application. So go back to the application, right? And in application we have to change the connection string, right? So where is the connection string first of all? So here I am copying the connection string for my reference, and so here instead of the my comp I have to give the Azure cloud server name, copy it, and then put in the connection, right? And then initial storage, so HIMS, right? And username SQL admin, okay, and password, okay. So connection is done, right? Means we have to just close the project and again start it. So it will connect to the SQL Azure. Yes, it is connected, and I am going to log in. Yes, logged in done, and I am switching to the another screen. Okay, so here previously there are 11 records. If you see at here, means there is a IPD bill. Sorry, my bad. Actually, I have to see in a OPD bill. Sorry. Okay, there is a 11 bill number, right? And in this, right now I'm going to explore the database. Yes, there are multiple 64 tables, and if you see select from the bill, I think query is already here. So this is the local 11, right? And this is the Azure. So select star from bill. So you will get 11 entries, same entries, and I am connected to the Azure right now, right? So I am going to create another bill. So here for same patient, and minor dressing, let's say 50 rupees, and then there is a administration duplicate, yeah, any service, right? Administration charges 50 rupees, okay. And yeah, after that IV infusion 500, okay. Or yes, and you have to save it. And it is basically yeah, why it is came blank? This is speed is dependent on the internet as well as your database tier. Means let's say right now database tier is in a S0. If you make it as in a S1, then price will high, and you can fast, means you will get the better speed, right? So yes, I am making it as a S0 to S1. Obviously price will go high, and if you see the deployment, means we are scaling up the database, right? And one more thing here, till the time we can see there is a blank report, right? Means a blank bill. If you see there is a two bills, right? The 12 number bill, if we are so it will come as a blank. How to configure it? So I have to tell you about this. Means on this server I hosted the rep reports, all the reports, right? So here I'm going, and there is a my computer data sources. So if you see folders, means all the data set are point to the data sources, right? I means whatever the data sources we have, so based on that I have to change the connection string for that, so it will find that and reporting to the data set and data set to the data sources. So go into the data source db, and right now it is pointing to the local, and I have to point to the Azure SQL DB. So change the connection Azure SQL Database and change the database name as well as server name. So yes, I am copying server name. Yeah, scale database is done. S0 to S1 means we can do the operation very fast. So first of all, I have to copy the server name, copy it, and then go to the reporting server and then paste it, and then initial catalog. So database name is the HIMS, then username and password. So SQL admin is the username, and password will be like this. Then test the connection. Go to yes, means there is a connection successfully. Just applied, and then go validate it again, browse it, and data sources. Yeah, Azure connection string is applied perfectly. Okay then. So go to the application again and click on it, then print it. So you will get the perfect. Means there is a how much amount, minor dressing and IV infusion, and then so this bill will show in a Azure database, right? So if you observe it, click on the 12th bill, right? And if you see at local database there is only 11 entries, and here there are 12 entries, means we are getting the data from the Azure itself. And here if you see there is a lagging issue, means there is a I'm going to create a one another bill. So you can see there is a nothing lag, right? Why? Because we uh, miss scale up the database, means S0 to S1. So we are getting the data very fast, and so within a fraction of second we are getting the data, right? ECG. I'm adding the 300. Okay, add it, close it, then discount. I'm going to 5% at so 1250 and 1200, 35 rupees is balance. Okay, so you can see there is a fast operation is happening, right? And in OPD bill settlement, then click on a MR number, then show bills. So you can see there is a one bill is in unsettled mode. So balance 3 5, save it. Okay, it's perfect. Means whatever the entries that are reflecting very quickly. So that is the purpose behind of that demo or a video. Means we can connect it from local to the Azure, and I shown you about the reports as well. Means here we can change the connection string, and within a fraction of second connect reports are diverted from local to the Azure. And we seen data migration assistant tool as well. Still you have any doubts, then let me know in a comment section. I will try to answer it. Yes, thank you. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you like it, please share it and subscribe my channel. Thank you very much. Bye bye.